Hello and welcome. Oh, wait. There we are. Hello and welcome to
Hello.
another night of SegaSonic Radio. I almost called it the other show that I did. Hi, I am your primary DJ, GX, aka the Spin Dash, aka Chris, and this is Sonic Stadium's next evolution music station, show, something like that. It's one of those many things that I said in sort of a rambling sort of way. And hey, it's 7 days of nights this week over on Sonic Stadium, and as such I brought my resident Nights into Dreams expert, Alex, aka Knuckles87. Hey Alex, how are you doing?
Hey, Chris. How are you?
I'm very tired. It's been a long week. It's been a trying week.
Yeah,
You've been
yeah.
aware of it.
I'm aware.
Just crazy personal stuff going on, and I'm glad that hey, it's resolving on a generally positive note, even if it has not resolved yet. But that's that's what Nights is about. It's about going through personal strife. I mean, I'm not wrong. I'm not
No,
wrong.
you aren't wrong. You
That's
aren't
what it's
wrong.
about.
No.
It's about people going through personal strife in their life and trying to figure out how to manage it through the power of a magical jester who flies around in your dreams, and a lot of weird bald children and another jester who is the evil one.
Excuse me. I think they are called flying dream babies
They are, but
or Nighttopians.
you don't want to touch on the crowd that is just into the bald children aspect of it. Yeah,
All children that you can accidentally massacre.
yeah,
I was doing that on stream earlier this week. I guess kept getting in the way.
yeah. What is your 7 days of nights, and why is it, and how is it, and what can people expect from it?
Well, it's how Sonic Stadium is celebrating the game's 25th anniversary, and it's just a series of articles and streams and tweaks, just all about various aspects of Nikes. I've actually got an article about Journey of Dreams coming up pretty quickly. That just kind of talks about the good and ills of that game. Which we just heard the theme for that just now. Really beautiful orchestration. And yeah, and so like I've just been I've been playing through the all the Nike games and stuff on stream. I did the whole first game the first night, Christmas night second night, and then third night I attempted to do a bunch of cameos because there are like loads of Nike's cameos, but various technical issues made that difficult. And now I'm doing Journey of Dreams, which is like gonna be a 4-night event.
So, I came to you earlier this week and kind of suggested, okay, well, what if we're doing a Nights event all week on this stuff? Would it be possible for me to grab you and have you make us a playlist? And you came back to me a whole bunch of songs. I went out, made sure I could get the songs, make sure that hey, they're all ready for air, and it's just sort of create a nice playlist here between the things that you suggested and some of the stuff that I've enjoyed from the soundtracks of the many games. So primarily this week, most of our soundtracks are from Nights into Dreams, Christmas Nights into Dreams, and Nights Journey of Dreams. Although we may have a couple other games mixed in there.
Yeah.
Still Nights related, but you know what? These are good soundtracks. These are good. I'm sure we will talk about my feelings about the games themselves at some point tonight. But I can't. I can absolutely tell you these are fantastic soundtracks, and we're gonna start with one of the big song pieces that you suggested, "Soft Suburban Museum," the song for Soft Museum from Nights into Dreams, and this is the third stage on the girl's side, whose
Yeah,
name I
Claris's.
forgot. Claris, thank you.
Claris's level. Yeah.
You see, I. The problem is, I'm going to get stuck between which group of children were in which game, and then
That
mix
happened to
that
me
up,
last night with Will.
and then mix that up with which group of children were in Balan Wonderworld.
Oh boy.
So,
Well, thankfully, I've barely played that game, so I don't know.
I've heard good things about its music.
Oh yeah, it actually has a bit of a Broadway thing going for some of its vocal tracks, which I rather like.
So let's go ahead. Some of the tracks that I've opted into, specifically the ones from Nights into Dreams itself, if it is a level track, the source that I found for them are a bit of a, we'll say, a remix of all of the different versions of the music from that stage. So, first one here, Suburban Museum, it's going to be about 9 minutes long, so we will catch you on the other side of that. And, let's go. Hey, and we are back. So, how'd you enjoy that so far, Alex?
Quite a lot. It's actually the first time I've heard a good portion of that track because I don't know if you know this, but that I believe that's an amalgamation of the the different each level in the game has three tracks which reflect the mood of the Nighttopian residents, and and that track was basically a combination of all three of those.
Sort of a medley based on what you're doing and how you're doing in the game.
More like how you how you're treating them and how you're and how many nightmarings you're killing and stuff.
I didn't realize that it really kept track. I maybe encountered two in any given run, so
Well,
I don't know.
Eventually, if you play when after you've played enough, and if you're not like constantly killing them, they will populate and just fill the stage. And there's like this whole breeding system and stuff. I don't know. It's mostly based off of like luck, really. So it's not anything that you can really like actively engage in aside from whether or not you go out of your way to kill them. And I've never done that, and so I've only ever gotten the happy tracks, which is what that started with.
So I might as well just put this out here and make no friends on the internet and just say I don't like Knights. I don't like the game. Like I have tried multiple times to play Nights into Dreams. I have not had fun. I just haven't. I haven't. I tried on original Saturn hardware. I tried on the HD version. I just don't. It has game design decision, and it's not about the game being a score attack game, because I know that was that's what you usually sort of preface it by saying, is that like this game is designed to be a score attack game, get your best score, get the high grades, do the best you can, etc., etc., etc. For me, it's just it's a culmination of design issues, but I'm sure we'll talk about that a bit later. Let's go though into like what actually draws you to it.
Well, like I said, it just tickles my my Sonic funny bone, basically. Like I enjoy speed. I enjoy like perfecting my rungs, just like I enjoy running through any given Sonic game. It kind of just appeals to the same to that same aspect of my tastes.
Mm.
Especially like when it comes to like Nikes and Sonic Adventure 2, because Sonic Adventure 2 also has a pretty big focus on scoring and grades that kind of got me started on that whole thing of like trying to improve my performance on a given level.
I kind of hated that aspect of that game too.
Personally, I prefer Nikes because I find Sonic Adventure 2 to be glitchier and more frustrating to like play in that way. But
I don't know. My version of that is usually like a Pac-Man Championship Edition, or a like a Geometry Wars, that type of thing, or even just like a rhythm game, a good traditional music rhythm game. That's
I suck at rhythm games.
I'm not good at like the hard difficulties for them, but I still really enjoy, even on like middle difficulties. I'm currently we'll say somewhere in the middle of the Taiko no Tatsujin RPG game.
I can't even play like basic Rhythm Heaven stuff.
Oh, you're killing me, man. You're killing. Rhythm Heaven is my jam.
I kept trying, and maybe one day it'll get me.
If I could,
but at the moment, it just I'm not good enough at it.
If I could
to enjoy it.
If I could convince Sven to give me an entire night of just saying, well, what if we just did all Rhythm Heaven music, and that would be heaven for me, and
Oh,
not just for the pun.
It'll be fun hearing how you connect that to Sonic.
Both video games. I have the soundtracks for both. I really
I don't
want
think
to.
that's enough. Maybe when Sonic Team makes a Rhythm Heaven game.
I really, really want to. Well, they actually did. Well, no, that's not true. Not
That's
Sonic
Rhythm
Team.
Thief.
There is Rhythm Thief. There's Rhythm Thief.
Which
there's
that game I could play because I guess it's just easier.
I'm not sure I feel that way about it, but sure.
You don't think it's easier than Rhythm Heaven?
I don't know. Like if you're going for the perfects in Rhythm Heaven, but we're not here to talk about Rhythm Heaven. We are here to talk about Nights into Dreams and Christmas time and New Year's time and in the many holidays of Nights into Dreams.
Yay!
And hey, we've got 3 more tracks coming up. I chose 2 of these 3. New Year's 9th, which is the track that plays when you play Christmas Nights on New Year's Day. We are following that up with Electrical Entertainment, the music for Delight City from Night's Journey of Dreams. You were tackling that last night, weren't you?
Yes, well, yes, I was. That was the last level I beat before we called it a night.
That's the roller coaster one, isn't it?
No, the roller coaster one's the desert stage.
My mistake.
This one is like the one with the pool tables and the slot machines. Man,
you can see where my confusion lies, though. And then we're going to wrap up this set with The Amazing Water from Splash Garden from the original Nights into Dreams. That one's going to be another long one. We shall see you guys again in about 13, 14 minutes. Talk to you soon. Man, I just really like the places that song goes in the perfect album mix.
Yeah, and I did do some checking. These are actually the 3 different Nighttopian Moog songs. So that's
Yep.
so that's where it all comes from.
Yeah, normally in the game, it sort of melds between the 3 or 4 based on circumstance,
Yeah.
and then for this particular album, they mixed them all together, sort of like in the Sonic Rush album, where Sonic and Blaze actually have slightly different mixes to their tracks in those. But there is a track on the album that meshes the two together in a bit of a medley. So,
Yeah.
more or less like that. Yeah. So, as I said earlier, like I understand you're a fan. I give you crap about it all the time. But I give you
Yeah.
crap about most of the things that you like. It's in my nature.
I know. You're not nice like I am.
Yeah, no. There's multiple things wrong with that sentence, but we're not here to talk about multiple things wrong with that. I I look at Knights and I think this is probably a game that was amazing in 1996 because nothing was really doing something like this. It is very much in the realm of Sega sort of still making arcade games at the time. Like it's something that they continued to do like right up into the Dreamcast. Is they are a company that built themselves on making arcade games quite literally. They started out as service games, and it absolutely has much more of an arcade-like feel than a home console game-like feel.
What's interesting to me is that Sonic, the people of Sonic Team who made this weren't really, they didn't really have a history in arcades. Like Yuji Naka primarily, and Naoto Yoshima and stuff primarily worked on like console experiences. Like
Right.
going all the way back to Girl's Garden for Yuji Naka, which was made for the SG-1000.
And even then, like when I look at Sonic Team and think of other stuff that they've made, like I think of Choo Choo Rocket, which I personally think has an arcade feel. I
Yeah,
would understand
I'd
why.
agree with that.
Yeah, but admittedly, no, not a lot of Sonic Team games quite have that. Obviously, there's I'm trying to think of what they're like right on the
Another
same
one that
right
came
on the
after that was, sorry, go on.
I was probably going to say the game that you were about to say, the extremely anime Burning Rangers.
Oh no, I was gonna say Samba de Amigo.
Oh yeah, yeah. Some name Amigo, like that's arcadey in the game in the same way a rhythm game is
Well,
arcadey, but
I think that was literally an arcade game.
I I've only ever remember seeing it as buy the kit with the plastic maracas on Dreamcast or
Hmm.
on Wii. So I don't know much beyond that. Yeah,
Awesome.
Knights. Like the biggest thing that Knights and I never mesh with is I don't care for the way that it's really structured. Like even as a score attack game, the fact that it's kind of built on this sort of progression system where it expects you to get good grades to continue on, specifically not nearly just don't fail, but the way that the game expects you to play proficiently is you have one mission to complete throughout the level, and that is to collect enough of these blue crystals in order to break a prison that's sort of in there. And you can do that and then get back to the entrance like lickety split with lots of bonus time, and you don't get rewarded for bonus time in this game. You get rewarded for using as much of that time up as you possibly can. Basically, like, what if one racetrack was 4 racetracks? And do the first track as many times as you can before time's up and you have to move on to the second. I feel like I've probably, I've hopefully represented the actual goal of the game, right? Is that fair thus far?
I wouldn't compare it to a racetrack, but yeah. So you have there are two goals. The first goal, get the Idia as quickly as possible by gathering those blue chips, and that's where you get the time bonus for. And then after that, that's when you need to rack up as many points as possible in the time remaining without messing up and finding yourself too far away from the from the Idiot Palace in order to get back in time. Now, what I really enjoy about that is, for one, like it can just be like a zen-like experience to just be flying through the stage and nailing everything that you need to nail over and over again, keeping the chain going, and getting that massive score. But I also really appreciate the risk reward element of, do I want to go on that next lap or not, or do I just head back to the palace and move on to the next course? Because you don't really need to run down the clock all the way to 0 to get a passing grade in this, which is a C. Like, I've accidentally flown into the Idiot Palace a couple of times when I was only like a lap or a couple laps in, and it would give me a C, easy. And so like lapping all the way until the clock's down to 0 is just for like those people like myself who just want to improve over their old scores or get that A for the first time, depending on which hasn't been done yet.
I guess the issue is, like, if it is, like, if that's the intended way to play, or rather intended way to play proficiently, I think what I'm kind of running into is, it needs to support you as a player in order to do that. Otherwise, it is, quite honestly, a lot of stage memorization. The camera is very close, and it sort of leads you into certain places, but the stages themselves are often either very narrow that you kind of have a sense of where it wants you to go directly, or just wide enough that you can't really see what's up and down. And the fact that it's, in my experience, a pretty tight timer, I don't feel like I have the leeway to explore and try new things, because I'm on a timer. If I fail to do that, then, well, the punishment for that is severe. I kind of also feel like it would really benefit from having just, even if it's a very simple map, just some sort of map to give you a sense of how far you are from where you need to go, so that you can have a sense of, basically, so that you can have a sense of whether or not it's worth it to take that risk reward. Like, if I know that it's going to be a whole if it's going to be a whole 3/4 of a track in order to get back to where I began, it might not be worth taking that extra trip. But
Well, for me, I'm usually able to just determine that whether or not I can do a second run just by seeing how long my first run was.
I think I'm worried that, like, that's a type of thing that if you played it over and over and over again, that would be something that you would get familiar with. It doesn't feel like that benefits the first the first playthrough. I think that it's asking you to be very familiar with what's going on in these stages, so getting into it is not beginner friendly.
So I actually have an article about my earlier experience with Nikes, and I didn't hate it like you did, but I didn't quite get it. But one of the things that I do talk about in that is how, by and large, I never really had an issue with completing any of the stages, even when I was unfamiliar with it. It was kind of like how when you first play a Sonic game, you're going to hit a lot of things. You're going to not be entirely familiar with the stage layout. But at least for me, I found it forgiving enough that, by and large, I was able to get through it and get to the boss and kill the boss. And and that was that. Normally I'd come out of it with like a D or something, or if I'm lucky, a C. But I don't know. I've just never really found nights to be all that difficult, aside from like maybe one course at the end of Stick Canyon.
It it is very punitive if you don't stick to its timer. If you let the timer run out, effectively you stop being knights. You turn into the children, and you have to sort of trek across this very bizarre landscape of. I think it's like a my first Unity extrusion map, where it,
Oh
it does
yeah.
it's not really designed in any logical sensible way. It's just sort of, here's a bunch of mountains that we extruded out of a flat plane with a bunch of textures on it. Also, I guess a clock is chasing you, so hopefully you have enough to get back there. Also, if you let that happen, it's basically a guaranteed F. Uh,
Yeah, by and large, unless you had enough blue chips
I
collected.
I also
But
kind of I also kind of struggle with the fact that these aren't necessarily short levels if you attempt to play it proficient. If you attempt to get a non D score, um, and that's followed by fighting a boss, which the bosses don't necessarily telegraph what they do or what they're expected to do or anything like that, right? And if you basically lose your time on the boss, it's one shot. You only get like one chance, and then you have to go back and redo the stage again. Which, sure, after a while you'll figure out the bosses, but up to that point, it's a lot of going back and redoing the stages and going back and redoing the stages, and I question that as a design choice. I'm not saying it's unforgivable in certain circumstances. I'm saying I don't think it makes sense for the type of game that they're trying to make.
hmm, okay.
But that said, like, I still there's certain aspects of the aesthetics I like. I think it's a thematically interesting game. Certainly in a time where not a lot of games were trying something a little bit more heady like this in terms of story and theme. The second Journey of Dreams expanded on that. Some might argue a little bit too much. Some might argue,
Yeah.
it's interesting. It at least did some interesting things. Personally, I actually do like Journey of Dreams more than the original, which I'm sure will make a lot of people mad. But it's kind of where I stand, because as I was watching you play Journey of Dreams yesterday, I noticed one of the things that it does is it doesn't show knights just flatly moving forward perpendicular to the camera. Rather, the camera is just slightly angled so that you can see
Yeah.
ahead of it. So it gives you a better sense of, like, okay, what's coming ahead? And then immediately, like, oh, here's a tree you have to circle around like 5 times that completely blocks your camera. Hope you can memorize what's inside that tree. So it hasn't completely avoided some of the criticisms that I have towards it, but yeah,
I mean, you're able to see what's in the tree before you fly inside.
kind of sorta. It's
But anyway, speaking of Journey of Dreams, my article about Journey of Dreams just went up at 8 p.m. Yeah, I will say that is a game that has kind of grown on me over the years. It's kind of like it's kind of become like Saga Adventure to me, wherein like, yeah, sure, there are some portions of the game that are just bad, that I hate, but like that's like a minority of the game, and like the most, and like the most of it, particularly the parts that the, they're like central to the game, I really enjoy coming back to and replaying.
well, here's some games that I actually enjoy coming back to and replaying from time to time. We've got another trio of songs. First up is Dream Valley Medley from Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed. This was a game in which Knights and Riala were unlockable characters and had their own stage, and it includes sections of Paternal Horn and Knights and Riala as music from the thing. And following that, hey, there was Knight's Table in Sonic Pinball Party. It was built off of Sonic Advance, Nights into Dreams, and Samba de Amigo, and they made 3 tables based on it, and they're pretty good pinball tables. I enjoy that game from time to time, and it included MIDI tracks from Nights into Dreams and Samba de Amigo that are pretty all right for Game Boy Advance music. Not a huge Game Boy Advance fan, but you know what? Like if you get a good rip of them, then it can be all right. And then I didn't realize this until you suggested it, but you had suggested Message from Nightopia, which other people might recognize as the Knight's Pinball song in Sonic Adventure.
Which is how I was introduced to the series.
So we're going to check those out, and we will see you on the other side. Hey, we're back, and it's the latter half of the show, and that means it's time to do a bit of a news update for the week.
Ooh.
So, yeah, not much though. Like we've had so much news the past few weeks. It's like, oh right. There was that time in which we did not have a billion news stories to cover all at once. So yeah, not a whole lot going on, but enough to sort of just quickly mention. They're saying Nights into Dreams slot machine, and you wrote the article. I think you could tell us a bit about it, Alex.
Yeah, so while I was doing research for all of the articles that are going up this week, I was on the Nike's fandom wiki, and like I saw this entry at the bottom that said Nike's Dream Wheel. I thought, oh, why would they have an entry on that? That's just some rumor I reported on like 2 years ago. And then I clicked it, and like turns out like right after Sonic's birthday, there was this Californian the casino posted a tweet about their new Nike's Dream Wheel slot machine near the gift shop. So like, oh, okay, I guess that was real. It's like that wasn't just some weird Sega trademark.
It's like when Konami announces, hey, well, whenever all the news outlets report, hey, Konami has a new Metal Gear game. Also, it's Apache slot machine. So, hope you enjoy a really nice looking Apache slot machine.
But yeah, this is such a weird idea for a slot machine, because like, you know, this is like what, a 12-year-old game.
I guess
that,
use
like,
what
didn't
you've
sell
got.
Especially well. But they've got other things. They could do Virtua Fighter. Virtua Fighter is way more successful.
I think what you get out of the Night slot machine though is it's, if you don't know what Nights is, it's not off-putting, especially if you don't play video games. Like if not, it just looks like here's weird fantasy. Go look at this gesture character in this sort of vaguely medieval floating world, and you know you can probably get through it without issue.
And I mean, technically, Journey of Dreams, like I mentioned briefly earlier, does have like a Nike slot machine inside of it.
Jeez. We also got some Shadow figures coming up, so hey, who likes expensive first 4 figurines?
Yeah,
it's coming next year, like second quarter next year. They got Shadow and they got Super Shadow, and they're more or less the same design but different colored. Yeah, I mean, they look nice. There's definitely going to be Shadow fans that'll be happy about that. I don't know, like, I think you go for the first 4 figurine that is the thing you like, and then you don't go for any more because they are expensive. And, I mean, you got your Vice, so what else would you need?
I would not mind. I skipped out on their first Nike's figure because I don't care too much for the Journey of Dreams design. And so like, and I wasn't gonna like spend $200 on that. So I have like two figures. I've got Vice and I've got Ryo Azuki. And so until they do classic Nikes, I'm good on first 4 figures.
Do you want classic Knights to just be in the style of, let's say, like the classic Knights stock art, or is classic Knights to you more along the lines of it would look cool if it was polygonal?
In the arc style, not the polygons.
Okay. I think the polygon one would look pretty cool. I'm trying to think of what series of literally anything that they could make the figurine of that's like, yeah, I'll drop $200 on this. And well, I think the problem is, like, I can't think of much, but like, I don't know, if they made the functioning Sega Astro arcade game, I might be able to do that and willing, but
I mean, you didn't drop money on that Jet Set Radio one, so
no,
I'm not sure what you'd do it for.
like that's all the more compounded by the fact that it was officially announced now that Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth are going to get Nendoroid figures coming up soon. So, I mean, do I need anything beyond that? Is there anything beyond that I desire? And
Honestly, if I was going to drop $200 or $300 on a Nike's thing, it'd be one of those UFO plushies that were in my merchandise article.
I guess the issue is like I still pay that much for figurines. It's just that I get like 10 of them and they're all amiibo. And I was eventually able to get my pre-orders in for the Monster Hunter set and Metroid one and not Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword, but only because I got bundles that include the game and I imported them from Japan. So I'm going to wind up with the Japanese copy of Skyward Sword. And hey, really hope that Nintendo stays true to their policy of like, I don't know, we just set the language to whatever language your system's set to. Because that's typically how they handle it, but boy, am I hoping I don't wind up with some games I can't play reasonably.
I'm good on amiibo. Like, I'm just going to stick with whatever they release in the Smash line, and then I'm done.
Good luck, because I think everything's being hit by scalpers. Like, the funniest part about people getting mad and upset about the new version of the Switch is not everything that some of the rumors and not all of the rumors were telling us about, and the answer is, well, it's okay because nobody's going to be able to buy one anyway unless you're a robot on the internet.
Well, between my patience and the occasional birthday, I have never paid scalper prices on these things, and I intend to keep that going with Min Min.
One more significant news item this week, and hey, we got a new Sonic-related song from Dreams. I call them Dreams Come True. No, Dreams Come True. In regard to Green Hill, too many R sounds in there. True to his word, the head of Dreams Come True, Masato Nakamura, basically came out and released a new single with his partner in the band, and it is based on the Green Hill music, and it was also used for a tea commercial.
Really?
Way back when? Yeah, originally when we reported on this, it was first discovered as like, hey, this is being used in a tea commercial, and it sure is. But yeah, I listened to it. It's nice. It's good. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll pop up at some point on here whenever we do Green Hill stuff. But yeah, it's nice. Go listen. It's on sonicstadium.org or YouTube. Just Green Hill, Dreams Come True, miscellaneous, etc. It's good. It's good. Speaking of things that are good, I picked two songs that are slightly outside of what we've been listening to thus far, because a lot of what we've been hearing are like the level music, and here's some medley of how this goes. Here's a song that uses the motif of Dreams used in a special way. But what if we listen to some boss music? And we have two boss tracks coming up. First one is from Nights into Dreams. It is Elekai Sparkle, which I'm sure is just sort of something. It feels Japanese phonetic in a way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's the boss battle against Claws with a Z. And then we've got from Knight's Journey of Dreams, Knights in Riala, theme of a tragic revenge, which is the boss fight against Riala. So this one is significant because it has guitar work from Jun Sunue. By the way, I'm now pronouncing it Junsanue because I've heard many people call it many different ways, but I decided for the segment to look on the Crush 40 wiki on fandom.com. And admittedly, the pronunciation that they gave me is Junsanue. I am going to have faith in this Crush 40 wiki that it seems to take a lot of editorial liberties. They say he's a very talented individual, and that both have changed lives. So Crush 40 was born. So yeah, it ends with Junsanue and Johnny Gioli will always be great friends. So
Okay.
it's
I'll try to keep that pronunciation in mind at least.
it's extremely earnest. It's extremely earnest entry, and I don't laugh out of making fun of it, but it is charming in a way I was not expecting. But to be fair, anybody can make a fandom wiki, so I don't know. It's not, there's not a lot to it, but I shall trust their pronunciation when I say Junsanue. And we're going to listen to some of his guitar work in this upcoming song. So again, that's Ilakai Sparkle against Claws, or Ilaki, something like that. And Knights in Riella, theme of a tragic revenge. We'll see you on the other side. So yes, a very talented individual indeed.
At least with the guitar.
Yeah. Hey, we're approaching the end of the evening, but we still got 3 more songs left in us for this evening. So, like, I guess what can we expect from the final days of our 7 days of nights?
Well, not too much more. Tomorrow there will be a cameo article coming up that just kind of highlights a bunch of other places Nike has appeared in over the years, mostly Sonic games. And hopefully on Sunday, if things go well, we might have a staff roundtable about Nike's memories. Now, if that doesn't follow through, then there will. I have another little article to fill the void, but hopefully it'll be that roundtable.
Very good. And you've been streaming Nights games all week.
Yep. And tonight's the second night of Journey of Dreams. I've laid out 4 nights in total. So like the final one will be on Sunday. And that will be the end of 7 days of nights for me, which will be very nice because between this and Blue Blur Legacy, I have been working my ass off for this site, and I'd very much like to do other things.
It's been a set of 2 months thus far. It really had, between all of the Sonic Anniversary stuff and like you've effectively spearheaded everything involving the Nights Anniversary. So kudos to you for being able to manage that. So yeah, again, we're gonna keep going on. We've got one of the suggestions you brought, 2 of them actually. Actually, the rest of these are all your suggestions. I have no input on the rest of this show, so we're gonna go ahead and listen to Growing Wings from Twin Seed from Nights into Dreams, which is the episode where it is that very iconic Nights over the skies of like Dream London, if I remember correct.
Well, the one you're playing is is from the original game, so it's more like it's I think an American-based city called Twin Seeds.
Okay.
So but I don't know, close enough.
Fair enough. Like I whenever I think of Nights, I think of like the Journey of Dreams. Hey, he's right in front of the clock tower at night.
Yeah.
But
Journey
that's
of Dreams, they really leaned into the UK stuff.
But that's true. Like there really isn't like the clock tower in the original one. It was just sort of the nighttime cityscape. And then hey, we've got Merry Memory Go Round from Memory Forest in Night's Journey of Dreams, which that's the one where you play as the kids, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
I'm
thinking
the one where you play as the one where you play as the kids is Growing Wings, because that's the one where they literally need to fly so they don't like just fall into nothingness.
like Nights into Dreams is already quite incredibly Peter Pan, and that just came down to okay, it's even more Peter Pan. Like let's just lean into it. Let's not leave any doubt here. So, yeah, we're gonna listen to Growing Wings and Merry Memory Go Round, and we will be back after that, and then the final song of the night. So we'll see you on the other side. So tonight certainly wouldn't be complete if we didn't touch on the we'll say the simple and clean of the night series.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to end things with a version of Dreams, and like the one thing you can say about Dreams is they use it throughout the series. Like,
Yes. There's like at least over a dozen remixes of the song itself.
oh, it's like if there's a separate character in the game, then there's a version of them singing Dreams. It's
Yeah.
so it's like, oh, you completed the boy character. Well, here's him singing it. You completed the girl character. Here's them singing it. Here's them singing it together. Here's them singing it as adults. Here's a version where the Nighttopians sing it. Here's a version from the other game. Here's a version from this sort of live album that Sega produced at some point.
Oh yeah, that one was good.
And even then, it's just used throughout the game in different parts. Like it's sort of the core motif of it. Sort of
Yeah.
like I'm thinking of the like Luigi's Mansion and how exactly
That-
how so many songs just sort of play directly into that. Or if you remember DuckTales Remastered, when Jake Kaufman did the soundtrack for that one, almost every level song had at least a little bit of the Moon theme in it.
One thing I didn't even realize was that I knew Growing Wings used the Dreams motif. I didn't realize Message from Nightopia did as well. Like that, like they use that just so much in this. And when it came to picking Dreams in particular, I had a lot of difficulties picking the top choice. Ultimately, I picked this one because it just kind of came off as the most unique.
Right, it's from Christmas Nights into Dreams, and it's the acapella version. Certainly it is acapella, meaning no instrumentation, but more significantly, it has singers that aren't normally involved in the, we'll say, Dreams as a song. There's some versions of it that are specifically involve some singers and not others, but
yeah.
Now that I said that in a very confusing way, yeah. So let's kind of put a bow on things. So we know Sega hasn't completely forgotten about Nights into Dreams, considering that they're making slot machines for it. But I don't know. Like we had that investor report a while ago where it seemed like Knights might have been on their radar. Do you think there's room for a Knights style game and whatever you might consider a Knights style game in the current landscape?
I definitely think there's room for it. Like that's the great thing about today's digital storefronts is that you can you can make like a $20 game and put that on there, or like I guess next would probably be like $30, but you can kind of make any size of game now, so you don't have to artificially inflate it or anything with additional content. You don't have to like fill it full of production values and voice acting in order to sell as a full retail game, which is what they did with Journey of Dreams. Like they could get away with a relatively low cost, no frills sequel, and that's something I think I'd very much like to see from if Takashi Iizuka really does get to take another crack at it.
So here's the interesting question to me, though, is there's certainly been select franchises that Sega has been willing to partner with. I'll call them indie studios. I don't know their exact size, but it's for the sake of ease, I'll just call them indie. They were willing to have someone remake Panzer Dragoon. There was someone they were willing to have someone remake Alex Kidd and The Dragon's Trap and the fourth Monster Boy or Monster World game. I forget the naming conventions of them, and make a brand new Streets of Rage game.
Yeah.
Do you think is Knights too close though?
I don't think so. Like, if Sega's willing to do that with Streaks of Rage, then I definitely think that they could do it with Nikes. Now, the only question is, I would imagine that Takashi Iizuka would probably still want to be involved in some capacity. Maybe more like how he was with Sonic Mania, where he just kind of oversaw things, but like didn't like directly like control anything.
Do you think
Like
that he might have a feeling about that he might not have about Phantasy Star Online? Because that was also a Sonic Team game originally that went to another team later on, and in the same voice. Like the recent Choo Choo Rocket was not made by Sonic Team as well. So
Well, I'm basing this off the fact that he was the lead designer of the first Nike's game and the director of the second one, and he has been like the most vocal supporter of wanting to get a third one made. And so I generally would think that yes, it is an IP that I think is probably special for him. He'd probably want to be involved in some capacity if they ever made a third one.
I don't know what I would expect from it. Like I
don't
said,
either.
my feelings on it have been kind of laid bare on this
Yeah.
story, so people kind of know where I stand. But at the same time, I think if I desire one thing out of Sonic Team, it's that I would like them to make at least some amount of games that aren't Sonic.
Yeah, that would be nice. And like in my article, I guess that just went up 40 minutes ago. I make the argument that like Journey of Dreams was like the best thing that they made in that period between the Dreamcast and Sonic Colors, in my opinion. Like to me, like that is the game I come back to the most out of that whole era from them. And I think that like you can just tell that they had that like they were just allowed to like kind of let loose with level themes and stuff, because it's like one of their most creative games, even if it's also a severely flawed game. And I'd love to see them get another shot at doing something like that again.
I'm not going to say Billy Hatcher is a perfect platformer. I'm not going to say Billy Hatcher is a top tier platformer. I'm going to say that I really like Billy Hatcher.
Well, maybe I'll get into that one day.
Billy Hatcher Week coming soon to Sonic Stadium.
I mean, I need to see what year that was released. That might be possible.
Oh, criminy. So yeah, we're gonna wrap up with Dreams, the acapella version from Christmas Nights into Dreams. Anything you want to leave us with this evening, Alex?
Not really. Just check out my articles. Hope you like them. And tune in. Maybe tune into my stream that's coming up in a little bit.
Oh yeah, you're streaming directly after this, so
yeah, I'll be streaming part 2 of Journey of Dreams, which will start with the ending.
How long do you expect the stream will be?
Probably about an hour and a half.
And you're looking for a secondary person to help you?
I am, yeah.
I might be able to assist you.
That would be nice.
If you would like.
I would appreciate that.
It's Friday night. I have a little bit more time than I would normally have. So
all right.
So we're gonna go offline after this song, obviously, and yeah, we'll be back next week with another episode of SegaSonic Radio. I'll be back on Sunday with a new episode of Almost Every Sonic. We are doing Sonic Generations because I need a game that I really like right now. And yeah, until next time, we're up, over, and gone. Peace, and enjoy this a cappella music.
In a dream I could see you are not far away. Anytime, any place, I can see your face. You're that special one that I've been waiting for. And I hope you're looking for someone like me. In my dreams, I can hear you calling me in the night. Everything is so sweet in your eyes. I feel there's so much inside. Oh yeah. In the night, dream delight. I want to see you standing there. In the night, dream delight. I found someone who really cares. In a dream we can do everything we want to. There's nowhere I'd rather be but here with you. The stars above light the way only for you and I. I'm so glad I found the one I've been looking for. Keep the dream of the one you're hoping for. Love can come through an open door. Just be strong, and you're sure to find the one. Find the one in the night. In delight, I want to see you standing there. In the night, dream delight, I found someone who really cares. In the night, dream delight, I want to see you smile again. In the night, dream delight, you are the one I've waited for.
Jun Sunue and Johnny Gioeli, two very talented individuals and friends forever.